This is the Boston Celtics newsfeed on CLNS. Today is Sunday, May 7th, 2017. This is Corey Prescott reporting for CLNS, the leading online provider of audio-video coverage for the Boston Celtics. As reported yesterday on CLNS, Washington Wizards Kelly Oubre has been suspended for Game 4 Sunday in the nation's capital, putting an already thin Wizards bench to the test. Although Oubre has the worst defensive rating on the Wizards through 3 games during this playoff series against the Boston Celtics, the Wizards will miss his length and ability to hit his shot accurately. After connecting on just 29% of his three-point attempts during the regular season, Oubre has upped that number to 40% in 9 playoff games between Boston and the Atlanta Hawks. In Oubre's place, the Wizards will likely lean on Bojan Bogdanovic more. The trade deadline acquisition from Brooklyn has had an up-and-down series thus far, with 10 points in Game 1, going scoreless in Game 2, and having a combined minus rating of -25 during those 2 Wizards losses. The 28-year-old from Bosnia and Herzegovina acclimated himself nicely in front of the Verizon Center faithful during Thursday's 116-89 blowout, pouring in 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 made threes off the bench. It's clear that Bogdanovic is a defensive sieve, a matchup that has Celtics guards and even a bigger threat like Kelly Oubre licking their chops to go at a player like him. Bogdanovic is an explicit threat on offense, however, a near 40% three-point shooter during his 26 regular game season with the Wizards, who has upped that to 50% in this series against the Celtics. Outside of trying to punk Celtics guard Terry Rozier, Brandon Jennings has been non-existent this series, connecting on just 2 of 9 field goal attempts in 39 minutes of action. Jason Smith has been solid, but is perhaps playing above his role, and Jan Mahimny is still working his way back from injury. If the starters repeat their efforts from Game 3, the Wizards will be able to escape with 0 bench production. The Wizards starting unit outscored the Celtics 77-58 and sported an average plus-minus rating of plus 19.2 in that game. None of the Celtics starters cracked a positive plus-minus rating. Avery Bradley was a team worst -25. When asked for a reaction on Oubre's suspension for Game 4 Sunday at Washington, Brad Stevens offered up his typical no-nonsense, all-business type of response, simply stating, quote, "We have to play better than we did the other day regardless of who's playing," end quote. Although that may seem like typical coach speak, Stevens is wholeheartedly correct in his assessment. The Celtics have been outscored by the Wizards 119-70 in the first quarters of Games 1 through 3. Add in their regular season bouts and that number has ballooned to 249 to 168. The Celtics have been playing on the edge early on in these contests, yet playing in front of a raucous and supportive TD Garden crowd has provided fuel for the Celtics to right their ship during Games 1 and 2. In Game 3, minus a pro-Boston crowd and in front of a drab Wizards atmosphere, the Celtics fell behind 17-39 after the first quarter, a 12-minute stretch that featured a 22-0 run by the Wizards. Unlike Games 1 and 2, the Wizards' cushion was enough to keep the Celtics fully at bay during Game 3, as Washington outscored Boston 77-72 in quarters 2 through 4, said Stevens on the Celtics' slow starts. Quote, "I mean, I don't think it's as easy as saying 1 or 2 things. In Game 3, they were terrific defensively, forcing turnovers, getting out and running. They've rebounded almost 50% of their shots in the first quarter against us," end quote. In other news from around the NBA, Warriors coach Steve Kerr has been ruled out indefinitely after undergoing a spinal cord leak procedure on his back. Kerr had back surgery 2 years ago and has been dealing with complications from the operation. Assistant coach Mike Brown has slid in seamlessly as the Warriors are 7-0 in the postseason and a clear-cut favorites to return to the NBA Finals for a 3rd straight season. Down 3-0 against the defending champion Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors will have a challenging quest to extend the series Sunday afternoon in Toronto, as all-star guard Kyle Lowry has indicated that he's doubtful for Game 4. Lowry sprained his left ankle and was unable to play in Game 3 Friday night after initially attempting to warm up and prepare to play. Celtics newsfeed is being powered by the SeatGeek ticketing app, the smartest and easiest way to buy and sell sports and concert tickets. Get a $20 rebate on your first purchase by downloading the free SeatGeek app to your phone. Go to the settings tab and click add a promo code and enter the code CELTSNEWS. That's CELTS News. All one word for a $20 rebate, and so SeatGeek knows who sent you. To stay up to speed on the 17-time world champions, follow CLNS on Twitter at CLNS Media. Be sure to subscribe to the Celtics newsfeed both on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as the CLNS mobile podcast app. This has been Corey Prescott for Celtics Newsfeed.